Damaged goods.
Yes, sir.
We're in the vault again.
Yes, sir. We have a special one today. A little subtle,
Yes.
very. I'm surprised you still haven't worn this shoe. Had a DS for like 2 years.
It's been that. It's been 2 years. I think I've fallen a little bit under the whole it's not a hype shoe. I know I've fallen under that, which I shouldn't. No sneakerhead should fall under that.
It happens though. It's
It
hard
does.
not to be a hype beast now.
I don't know if it's because when you have so many shoes, you just, in your head, you have this routine or your rotation, and I don't know. In the end, I don't even know why I haven't worn this shoe.
I know this is a shoe that kind of went under the radar for most people anyways.
Yes.
And I remember like before we even showed the shoe, I remember we had hopes that this shoe would pick up and hype when LeBron James wore it in the tunnel with a pretty decent fit.
That was a year after I already had it.
It was a year after? I thought it was in the same time that this shoe was still newish.
No. I saw him in the tunnel. LeBron James wore the shoes in the tunnel. And I'm not saying whatever LeBron James wears turns to gold. I'm not trying to give him that much hype. No. But it was nice. It was nice to see someone
appreciate the shoe.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's dope. In the tunnel, ballers are wearing like their top fits. When I saw that in the tunnel, I appreciate somebody appreciating the shoe for what the shoe is. That's it. Because I like it. And we got to get back to that.
Just wearing and getting shoes because you like them, not just because of hype.
See, like me, look, there's a repeat. Because I like it.
Same. Since I unDS'd this shoe last Friday, it's only been a week, I've worn it 4 times.
This is my 3rd time wearing this shoe. Because I just
you
love
unDS'd it this week.
Like we said before, this is my personal goal for sneaker of the year for me.
Let me ask you this. Before we show what this big shoe is, do you feel like right now with what you have in your closet, you would have a fit that would make this shoe like a highlight? Yes. When are we wearing this shoe?
I'm not going to commit.
I haven't committed for 2 years.
But
I'm
you know
not
what
gonna
happens?
commit again.
I think I've been also like just that feeling of unDSing a grail, unDSing a shoe that a lot of people don't have and you get to have. And I think I've fallen victim to that.
It's hard not to, man.
This shoe, you know what? You're right. I'm going to go to church this Sunday with these shoes on.
I'm holding to that. I really am. Go ahead. Show the people what you got.
All right.
Man.
What we got here, another reason why we thought this shoe was also going to be a dope shoe is because it was like a social status collab. And
they've done decently well.
The social status is also the same people behind Alma
Manier, Whitaker.
With the Whitaker group and all that.
And some of their collabs, they're pretty much a hit. But social status is still fairly new.
Right.
To the scene. But go ahead and unbox these beauties.
The ones we're talking about, not a big deal shoes. They're just the Mac Attack.
The Mac Attack Social Currency by Social Status.
This shoe is pretty dope. It's got some details on it. The laces come like in what's supposed to look like a box of jelly beans,
I think
like gum, candy, and it's got a couple of different color laces. That's pretty dope. This is like a cream color. There's another color in here that it came with.
It has a lot of extras. A lot of really awesome
like
features. Oh, the orange is nice.
The orange is nice. It's like a rustic orange. It came with a dust bag.
That dust bag goes hard.
It's got the social status on it. It's pretty dope.
I would just rock that almost like a tote, just carry it around.
It's a dope little bag. It's funny how some of these dust bags do become totes. I like that. The shoe itself, this one has the Nike swoosh. That one has the social status logo.
Emblem, yep. They got good materials.
It's a simple shoe. Even if you throw it on with some slacks and some jeans, you can make it happen.
What I like about this shoe is all the details that go into it. I don't know if the camera's going to do it any justice, but that satin on the green, it really makes the green really pop.
It does.
I love that. I love the gum sole. I'm not gonna lie, this shoe is dope because it dropped the same year as the Pine Green SBs, and it's very similar, almost identical to the same colorway and everything. Yes. I don't know if that was intentional, if they just knew that was coming and they wanted to have a shoe that competed with it. Part of me wants to say I would love if that was the case, but the green tips on this, it's fire. That's a good touch. I know this shoe overall, besides just rating it and looking at it, it takes you back to somewhere special.
Yes. What they did with this shoe, one of the, let's call it accessories, whatever things it comes with, is there's a story behind this. I grew up very, very humble, poor. I didn't grow up being able to afford shoes. And I know that's kind of like a cliche. I feel like every sneakerhead says that. But for real, we lived in a basement apartment that was an illegal apartment. It wasn't even supposed to be an apartment.
Wow.
We had pipes and all that running through the living room and everything. What was my bedroom was actually like a little corner of the hallway that went from one room to the next, and then the back. It was weird. Long story short, I definitely didn't have money to buy shoes. I used to love going to my aunt's house. I came from hardworking parents. My aunt, she had a different situation, but I used to love going to my aunt's house because in my aunt's house, I would get to have snacks and soda and junk food that I couldn't have at home. I grew up Pentecostal parents. To God be the glory. I am so happy I grew up like that. But I wasn't allowed to watch all the normal TV shows that were out there. I wasn't allowed to listen to music.
And you could not partake in
Del Diablo.
Yeah, he could not partake in pop culture.
My parents were right. It's Del Diablo. But as a kid, you want to do it.
Of course.
But instead of fighting with my parents, I used to be like, go to my aunt's house. And my aunt, they call it in the Latino community, we call that alcahueta. She just let me slide with stuff.
She was the one that let you get away with murder.
She just let you
get away with murder.
I was her favorite, and she let me get away with it. When I used to go to my aunt's house, she used to get really happy that I was there, because I would play with my cousins and everything. They were a lot younger than me, but I would still play with them and watch movies and cartoons with them. Yeah. And it was fun. She would give me these bills to go to the candy store and voila. In fact, even go to the Chinese spot and get Chinese food, berry tips, pork fried rice. And she would hand me a book of food stamps.
Los cupones.
And now, these aren't like the food stamps. This is actually social status currency. You get points and stuff at social status. But they are a throwback.
They pay homage.
They pay homage to that upbringing of food stamps. Food stamps back in the days used to look like this. They didn't come in an EBT card. They look like this. And my aunt would give me...
Which is crazy. I had no idea. Yeah. With my generation, we know the card. When you told me this story, I'm like, this is something we have to put out there, because I feel like a lot of people would get a little bit of
a lot of
history.
OGs. There's a lot of people that will look at this video and be like, yo, I know exactly what goes on. These are the food stamps. And as a kid, being so just innocent, I didn't know this was welfare money or whatever. I thought it was, yo.
You were living your best life.
Yes. This got me Now and Laters, got me lemon heads. Big
all
beans.
The sugar.
Then it got me ices and ice cream, potato chips, soda, and Chinese food. This was dope. We love them.
That's awesome.
When I saw Social Status do this, it brought me back. It brought me back to the beginning. It brought me back to those moments with my aunt and my cousins, and going to the store with these food stamps and just having such a great time.
And you gotta love that feeling. I love that feeling when a sneaker can make you reminisce. It takes you back to a certain point in time, a certain memory. I feel like we've had this conversation when it comes to our wives and females. Is they don't understand sometimes the emotional attachment we have to things.
Right.
Because to them, they can't relate to it as much as we do.
My wife...
You won't have them tell a story like this.
Wife, we got married, I moved in, I'm bringing in all these shoe boxes. She was like, wait a minute, are you 10?
Are you 10? It's crazy.
What is this? Till she started realizing how much they are worth, and then that changed her.
No, you good. Bring more.
How much? Oh, keep them coming. But no, the attachment I grew up in New York, and sneakers were everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody wore them. It wasn't just certain people. It was everybody. Yeah. Yes, you had the skateboarders that wore their type of sneakers. You had the ballers at West 4th Street, Rutgers Park, Lexington, 103rd Street basketball courts and all that. They wore their sneakers, and hip hop.
Breakdance crews and stuff.
Breakdance crews, they wore their sneakers, and But before Jordans, before that in New York, everybody had crisp Air Forces and Air Maxes. It was a thing.
Yeah.
It was a thing. Everybody else had Converses, Vans, so sneakers was always part of the culture. Even what we used to call back then the yuppies. The yuppies were the executives, the men and women that took the train to work and got off at Wall Street, and they were all executives. And you see all these ladies with their suits and their skirts and sneakers.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought yuppies was a shoe. I'm like, what?
No, that's what we call them yuppies. And so everybody wore shoes. It was just a thing.
Yeah. What I love and appreciate about sneaker culture and being really in it for just the love and the passion of sneakers.
Yes.
We have these moments where, you know, hopefully through storytelling and stuff like this, the next generation also appreciates it. Like
Yeah, for
kids,
sure.
grandkids, and everything, they get to live it down and be like, man, this meant so much to Wello and meant so much to Dad, and you know, and even moms eventually when they get into it.
And whatever attachment it is dope. For me now at this level of my life, I wear these shoes because, you know, I love them. But I love what Pharrell Williams is doing beyond just music. I love what he's doing in fashion and everything. It's just culture for me. This is not about having shoes. This is just a part of who I am. And these food stamps are me. If you got food stamps, I take them.
I'll take 'em. That's a great way to end right there. I'll take them.
I'll take 'em.